can you live your life outside of a trance? This was a question somebody asked Yogi Bhajan. And his answer was, no, you can't, because you are always in a transmission. Transmission. So you're always transmitting something. But the question is, what is it? And the reasons why certain things aren't happening in your life, or not happening quick enough, or not happening in a big enough way as per what you would like it to be, or just not quite exactly what it is that, not quite on target, or in one area it's on target and another area it's quite off target, which is very common. We come in with incarnational accomplishments that we've been working on for a long, long time. And then you have the samskaras and the karmas. You have the things that are the weaker points, or the pain points of the incarnation. So in one area, you can be very crystallized, and in another area, be very young and very immature, or underdeveloped, arrested development in another area. So part of kind of the Aquarian leader, the leader of this new time, is somebody who has the full kind of range of the mandala. And a couple things happen for that a couple of things need to happen for that to be. One is that we're not focusing on our weaknesses. So there are some places where, you're not as developed, or you have arrested development, or you want it to be different, but you have a harder time kind of creating the change or the manifestation in that area. Whereas in some other area in your life, it's very easy, right? You have this experience. So it's very easy here. It's much more challenging here in some way. Well, we're not focusing on the weaknesses in the way I read that quote the first night, I think it was, where Yogi Bhajan's talking about, and then you talk and talk and talk and talk. He's talking about, kind of the psychotherapeutic model, which is that you talk and you talk and you talk and you talk and you talk about your weaknesses, and that usually doesn't strengthen you. Now, there is a reason for that, those different types of modalities. There's a reason to do it. And usually that reason is somewhere around your friends and family are sick of hearing you talk about it. So then you pay somebody to deal with you. And that's totally fine. I mean, no, it's an adult decision that it's like, I'm just not going to burden the people around me, and I still need to talk about this, but I'm not going to do it to these people anymore because these people are nice people. So I'm going to pay somebody to listen to me. I mean, that's, but I'm not saying that's the only reason, but it's a good thing to do. So I'm not in any way saying that that's not a responsible adult decision. However, if you really want to kind of look at how you can strengthen some of these parts of you that have these, we'll just say a little bit of an atrophy, or a little bit of a numbness, or a little bit of a place where there's not as much development, the one thing we don't do is particularly focus on the weakness of that place. But what you can do, what this whole weekend is about, is that you can start to create a different narrative, a different trance, so that you start to transmit something different. And that requires some sophistication. I mean, nobody else is doing this. You should congratulate yourself. Nobody else is doing that. Where else are people creating this is a small amount of very small amount of practitioners on the planet that actually have an understanding of everything is a trance. You can't live without a trance. Most of our trances are not ours. Most of our trances are a media trance, a cultural trance, a familial trance. And that's, and then we just kind of, even, some of us, parenting is a good place for this, but also some other places of humility. You find yourself in a moment where you just have that kind of, you wake up out of the trance of your parental conditioning, and you realize you're sounding and behaving just like your parents. That's a trance. That's a good moment where you have a little awakening of the trance. So most of the trances that we're in are, not our own trance. So part of the kind of incredibly empowering work that we're doing here is that you're starting to, one, break the trance that is not yours, and two, understand that we're always in a trance. So now, what kind of life you want to live? How do you want it to look? How are you? And the meditation we did last night, I'll fill some of you in. No, you got to take care of yourself when you're doing this thing. I'm teasing you guys, but you got to take care of yourself. You have to pace yourself. You have to know what you can do. You have to, and then we did that heavy detoxifying Kriya in the morning. How's everybody feeling from that? Anybody have any experiences? Did you pee all night? Night sweats? Who had night sweats? Because he said that's going to happen. Oh, quite interesting, isn't it? Welcome to where you get mosquito bites, night sweats, and, it's all about word of mouth here. It was great. Got us out of bed in the middle of the night with like a cold bucket of water on our face. My body's riddled with mosquito bites. Night sweats. Hashtag Aquarian Women's Leadership Society gathering. Okay, good. So, no, you got to pace yourself. Okay, so this is part of your own self-psychology. You got to know what, and the only thing I'll say about this, and this is the kind of that teaching I gave in the first day, you have to figure out your own figure. So, where can you expand? Where's the habitual cutoff valve? Where's the habitual kind of way that you particularly kind of go sideways? You should know exactly what that looks like. Does everybody know exactly what that looks like? I'm giving you that as a homework assignment. You should know exactly what it looks like when the pressure's on and you go a little sideways. And then the figuring out your own figure, or in Immense Grace, what we're calling it is a self-profile. Then okay, so this is a way it goes sideways, and the variant degrees of that. So these are the kind of the variant degrees of the way. And then, is this a moment where it is about sleep, or it is about, needing to be alone, or it is about needing to just shut down for a minute, or it is about needing to go have a little cry, or, whatever the thing is, right? Is that the moment, or is this actually a moment where I need to just open up and let the fatigue clear and show up anyways, or let the emotional, the emotions just be raw and show up anyways, or let myself be, whatever the thing is, and show up anyways. And if you're practicing some good figuring of your own figure, you'll be able to have those kind of equations set. So it's like, all right, this is where like my knee gives out under pressure. Like this is where the system goes. And for a lot of people, it's what? You get sick. The immune system. You get that, Tiffany? Every single time. Shubha used to be like this too. So, and then, sometimes you're sick. And it's not that you're not, it's not that it's not real. But you just have to know where the thing slides out, and that all has to do with a pattern, and where the pattern comes from when? 120 days in utero to 3 years outside of the mother's womb, and then you're carrying patterns from the other lifetimes too. So, but forget about that if you don't even want to. We got enough on our hands. We don't even have to think about that. But there's so to figure out your own figure, you got to kind of know where you slide out, what knee gives, what that looks like. And then, do you wrap it? Do you ice it? Do you go elevate it? Do you work through it a little bit? Is it scar tissue? Is it, you have to have that whole kind of thing worked out, because if you do, then you're going to have a way more long-term, radical enjoyment of your human incarnation. so that you're not just kind of running away from every moment that's challenging and every kind of situation that is here for your growth, and you're and complaining about it, and doing all the things that we do that are really rude to your dignity and to your destiny. It's just you being rude, basically. But then there's times when you gotta take it easy. But that's all you and you. And the only way that you're gonna really have an understanding of that is if you're in your own trance and not in somebody else's trance. Thank you, Bethany. We have Griff as our friend in Venice, who's always like. She after we're working hard up here. I know it looks like I'm just sitting here, but we're working hard up here. And Griff will be like, she'll stand up, after my 9 a.m. She'll give me a standing ovation. I appreciate it.